Hey, do you remember me? I know it's been a while. It feels like it's been forever, and I don't think it has, but I just feel so bad. I've been so disconnected from everything that it's just taken me a while to get back into the swing of things. And I'm technically not really there, but I really felt like I couldn't let another week go by without at least saying, hey. I'm so sorry. It has been, I told you all that my grandfather passed, and I then told you that his funeral was on Saturday last week. And it seems like since then, a lot of that has been going on. And quite honestly, the piece of the funeral, I'm done. Like, I felt that I was fine with everything, honestly. But then I found out that my grandfather left me in control of handling his estate, which is very hard to handle when you have 7 children who you also wrote out of your will. 6 children who you wrote out of your will. And it's mind-boggling. You would think it should be easy, but it is not. And so suffice it to say, I've been processing. And I don't know if you can read my shirt, but it says, hold on and let me overthink this. Yeah, that's me to a T. So I've been doing a lot of thinking, internalizing, externalizing, and it's just been busy up here. But I'm here now, and I hope that you forgive me. For the first time since I started doing these knit along groups, missed a day. And I didn't miss it as in I never showed up. I was just extra late because I was on the phone with lawyers and I was on the phone with family. And by the time it was all said and done, my brain just could not stop. And I was completely removed. And so for you ladies in the knit along group, please, 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 please accept my humblest of apologies. It is never my intention to not fulfill my own commitment to something that I started, especially when I love this little community that I'm building. And I just hate that it felt like such a major disappointment. So I hope that you can forgive me. Claudia, you were on there when I logged on, so we did still have a session. And I did send you all an email. I don't know if you got it or not because it was, late and everything. But, her and I sat and we talked, and she's like, give yourself grace. Life is life. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But, I guess that's the human part of the person behind the channel. I feel like sometimes you don't have space to be human because you're trying to keep up with the algorithm and you're trying to keep up with your own expectations and the expectations that people have of you. So it's never my intention to just drop the ball. And one of the ladies, Miss Pat, she emailed me and was like, it's not like you to just ghost us or be a no-show. And I'm like, it really is not. This is so not a part of my temperament or personality. But it was a lot. But anyway, my name is Tiffany, by the way. So this now is for all of you who don't know me. You may be new here. It is definitely not my routine to be so disorganized and scatterbrained. Well, let me take that back. I am very much scatterbrained, hence the chaos of this channel. But when it comes to accountability, I am usually very on point. This is an extenuating circumstances. So Tiffany has been a little bit busy. Beyondswatches has not been knitting because she just can't sit still. But I'm here now, and I feel like forcing myself to knit on something that is kind of mindless and maybe short, will give me the mental charge or recharge to get me back in the groove. So that's what we're going to do today. I wanted to share with you Claudia and I during the groups, and she was tired of knitting on the tank top. And I understand, I told you all that confidence crop is really nice and it goes really fast, but it is bottom up, which means there's a ton of stockinetting around, but that is either a good or a bad thing, depending on what how you feel. I think, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think you said that you were working with the Kobu yarn. And I personally love the Kobu yarn. It is a little splitty if you're not used to it. So it can make things move a little bit slower because you're just trying to make sure you got all the stitches, but it's such a good feeling yarn. And once you finish, wash it, block it, you're gonna love the way it feels and drapes and flows and everything. And it's a beautiful summer cotton bamboo type blend. So if you don't know about it and you want to check it out, I think Walmart sells some of the colors, but Lion Brand's website, of course, has all of the stuff there. And as always, there's a link tree somewhere in the pinned comment or in the description that you can go to if you wish to support me and the channel. And you can shop through that link. And then, of course, there's a little kickback for me, but it doesn't cost you anything to do so. Whatever sales they have, you still get. Whatever, you know, things they offering is still applicable. It's just that as a referral from me to their site, it kicks back a portion of that to me. So that is that as far as that's concerned. I am currently working on that confidence crop, and I've made it to the section where you are starting the front panel. I'm trying not to go too fast because I don't know where Claudia is and where others might be with the tank. And so I'm trying to see if I can at least get to the end of this row. I don't know where they are. And so my goal whenever I'm hosting a class or a group or however you want to label it, I try to work in tandem with you. That way, when you need some help with a particular section, I'm at the same section with you, or I can get there pretty quickly. And I can demonstrate it if you need it, or, you know, send you a video call, whatever. And that's what we normally would do. So as we were working through it, one of the funniest things I will say about knitting, and probably crochet too, is, man, you gotta know how to count. I think she recounted like 2 or 3 times, and she had a grandbaby with her, so that was a little bit of a distraction with the number thing. But it was so funny. She's like, please sit down, I'm trying to count this row. You know? And I'm like, yeah, it's such a hard thing to keep your counts together. And sometimes you'll be counting and you know you have to stop, and you try to stop on a whole number and you're like, I'm going to remember the number 70. And then you go and do what you got to do, and you come back and you're like, what was it? Was it 60? Was it 70? And you end up recounting it again, you know? So it's like, oh my God, I can never get off this counting thing. But yeah, it's just part of the process. So hopefully she was able to get through that once the baby went to sleep, and maybe you was able to count it out and get your rows completed. That would be really nice. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you all. Because of me missing the session by a couple minutes or a lot of minutes, I did offer you all, if you wanted me to put a group together or put a session together for Sunday, let me know, so that I can schedule that in the Zoom thing, and I can put a reminder on my phone. I don't want any more mishaps. So just let me know. And if you're okay with missing this week and you just want to jump in on our regular scheduled programming, it won't be the Monday after, it'll be the following Monday. I don't have my calendar in front of me. So it'll be the following Monday. So if you're okay with going another 2 weeks, that's perfectly fine. If you want to jump on Sunday as kind of a makeup session for like the 40 minutes or an hour, just let me know, and I am more than willing and happy to oblige. Oh, let me get to the edge of this. 4. All right. So we have, I'm working on one, it's not even a 32-inch cord. I think this is a 24-inch cord. So we're really smushed here. But one side has the front panel, and then this side, this is the front panel, and then on the back is the back panel, of course, but those are the 2 armholes. So it will be like this, and you know, that goes right there. This pattern, and I'm not sponsored or anything, it would be nice, but you know, I'm not sponsored or anything, but I have been a Knititude lover for a really long time. I think her patterns are written very easy to where even if it's an intermediate pattern, it's only intermediate because of the skill that you may need to know how to maneuver, but it's not intermediate in terminology. She explains things really well, and she'll say things within the notes, you know, that'll say, if you're going to bind off these stitches, you're going to have to remove the marker in order to bind off the last one. Like, that's a very important note for a beginner who's binding off and you're doing the math and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do with this? I must have miscounted. Well, a little note like that goes a long way, because I now understand, oh, I didn't do anything wrong. I just need to move the marker, then bind it off, and then we're good. So, you know, so I like her attention to detail in that sense. And I would recommend, I don't want to say every pattern because I haven't knit every pattern, but I've bought a lot of her patterns and they all are pretty much formatted and written in the same terminology or vernacular. So I think you will enjoy them. Start with the Confidence crop top. Now it is bottom up, like I said. So if it's an aversion to you, I totally get it. But it's an easy bottom up. It's nothing complicated. It's just straight up until this part. And then you start doing some decreases, some knitting and purling for the straps, and everything is just pretty simple. So, and my yarn that I chose is the Cotton Speckles from Premier Yarn. It's 100% cotton. It is beautifully speckled with these nice pastel-y colors. It just screams spring to me, and it's very drapey, as you can see. So I look forward to blocking it and seeing what it does, how it performs. I made it purposely shorter because I suspect it's going to grow. So right now it's probably, so if you got a belly like I do that has a little fold in the middle, it is a little, about 2 inches above my lower belly, which is fine because, like I said, it is going to stretch with wear and probably with washing. So we'll see. We'll see. It'll be an experiment, but even if it doesn't work, I'm still wearing it anyway because I love the pattern. The previous ones I made were in like a bamboo and cotton blend, and those were good too, but it's so weird because they were so light that it almost felt like I wasn't wearing anything, which is a great feeling, but it still felt uncomfortable because it was so light. I'm like, am I exposing? Like, it was so light. And that was the that was the Bamboo Pop from Premier, and also the Bamboo Fair. They have both of those in their line. And I was just like, I don't know, this has no weight to it. It just feels so lightweight. I almost feel like I need to, you know, make sure I'm covered because the line stops like right there. And I don't know. It was just, I do feel like I went too big and I should have come down a little bit, but it is a beautiful feeling yarn. So that Bamboo Pop from Premier, perfect spring yarn. Tons of drape, a little bit of shine from the bamboo, and all of the airiness of the cotton. Like, it is so good, but just be mindful that it is very loose and light. Like, it's magical. So this Cotton Speckles has some feeling to it. So I'm hoping that when I wear it, I can at least feel that it's on me, not in a heavy way, but just in a I have on clothing kind of way. I'm telling you, it felt so light. I was like, I don't know if I could wear this outside. I would feel a little self-conscious, but you know, it's really nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So let me go ahead and put this back in the bag and move these stitches down. Oh, let me show you my bag. Look, you know where I got this from? Temu. It was like $3. Yup. And then on the front, it has this weird tag. I didn't see it, but it says you need this, take care of laundry. And I'm like, what? But it was $3. And I like the little cherries. They had it in white, but I felt like, you know, I put my bag on the floor when I'm knitting and I didn't want to have a white bag and get it dirty. But it's kind of like so of course my microphone dies, because why wouldn't it die? So the last thing I was saying, I think, was about my bag. The bag was $3, y'all, so I had to get the bag. And it feels like a cottony vinyl, I don't know, polyester, almost kind of like a windbreaker type material, like that. You know, it's them jogging suits that make that noise when you walk. Not velour, but that other one that's kind of like yeah, it has that kind of feel. Doesn't sound like that, but it has that kind of feel. And it's just a basic bag. It's just a basic bag. And the reason I bought it specifically as a project bag that was kind of cute is that I've been using my purses. Like, I have the big ones that I showed y'all before from the Knitting Swan, but they all have projects in them, and I didn't want to have to keep taking the projects out, replacing it with the nuts. I didn't want to do that. So I got a cheap little purse, a bigger bag, like a little tote, because I normally use my pocketbook, and I'll take a Walmart bag, put the project in it, and stuff that inside my pocketbook, and now I'll just look like a walking Target waiting to happen out here in these streets when I'm trying to get stuff out my bag. I got needles falling everywhere, but anyway, so I got that. But do y'all remember when I was telling y'all Knit Picks had a sale on patterns, and it was like 400 patterns for 99 cents? Well, I went ahead and I bought one. I resisted the urge to buy others, primarily because everything except like a few were bottom up patterns, and I just did not have it in me to, one, deal with learning a new designer and their writing style, and two, navigating construction bottom up, because that is not my forte. Have I made bottom up stuff before? Absolutely. Is it absolutely gut wrenching and annoying? Yes, it is. However, when it's something simple, it's not that bad. But these were like textured things, and you know, the shaping was there, and I just didn't want to deal with it, not even for $1. And I knew I probably wouldn't make it because it was bottom up. So I got the one pattern that I found that is top down, and it is a tunic. Let's show you the tunic. So this tank or tunic top is called Wild Dunes, and it is by Kirsten Joel. There's the tank, and it has what are essentially drop stitches throughout. So every couple of rows or rounds, however, there's a section of drop stitches, and I just like the lightness of it, the airiness of it, the very summery feel of it. And I'm always in leggings for the most part during my regular everyday life, and so I felt like a tunic style top that goes down, is kind of long, would be like perfect for me. The fact that it has drop stitches means that I will have to put on like one of those spaghetti strap under, you know what I mean, the little tanks underneath, just to cover all this up here. But I'm okay with that because I normally have on a tank top under like sleeveless shirts anyway, just to, anyway. So I'm excited about that. The yarn that is recommended in the Knit Picks line is this linen and cotton blend. And the thing about this particular yarn, I have no idea what it is, because this is something that is Italian, and it didn't have, I think it did say it was cotton and hemp or something, but it doesn't tell me the yardage, it doesn't tell me meters, it doesn't really have a whole lot on the label. So I just went flying blind with this one, but I felt like 10 balls of yarn should get me at least down my body. We're hoping. But if you notice, it has little sequins in it. Isn't that cute? I bought this yarn for the shop when I had a shop. Trying to show, there you go. So I bought this yarn when I had the shop because I just thought these were really nice. You know, people like to make things with a little sparkle, and it wasn't over the top and gaudy. But then I closed down the shop, and I'm like, well, I don't want to throw this yarn away. I think it feels like a good quality yarn. That it is definitely cotton. I don't know if it's hemp or linen, but it feels like cotton for sure. But the sequins just give it a little va-va-va-voom, and that's what I wanted. And then those are the drop stitches. So I believe I'm right now like up here. It's like something like that. Yeah. And that's as far as I've gotten. The pattern is not hard to understand. However, the way that some of the directions are written, I had to read it twice. Like these drop stitches, I had to do it twice because what I read first and it didn't look right. And I'm like, something about this don't seem right. I must be doing something wrong. And I went back and reread it, and I was doing the stitch as I was reading, and I was like, but this doesn't make any sense. So I just had to take a pause, look at the picture, and I was like, okay, I've done drop stitches before. Maybe this is what she means. And now I got it. So it's just, those are the things that make me nervous with designers, especially when you're paying for patterns at, $10 and $8 to $10, $12, whatever it is. And it just feels like, but you didn't even explain this, or you didn't even describe that. And, if I'm paying you for a service, I also don't feel like I need to figure stuff out. That's what I paid you for. Within reason, because I think I do feel that designers don't get paid what they're worth for those that give you a really good pattern. But in the same breath, I feel like whatever your price is, I'm willing to pay it because I know that you will give me a good knitting experience. So that is the problem, or the apprehension that I have when it comes to new designers, is just trying to figure out their writing style, their language, and then what is this end result going to look like. So I appreciate you all who write Ravelry reviews and you kind of put your notes in there. I mean, the ones of you or us who put up the picture and just say it's finished, that's nice to see. But I really appreciate the notes that describe some of the things that you ran into that were little hiccups, because that kind of lets us know as we get ready to buy it, hey, just a heads up, on row whatever there was a error, or this is what I did to fix what happened in row 2 because it didn't work for me, so try that. I like when people do that. So if you're a Ravelry user, I am not primarily, but if you are, thank you. Thank you for putting notes and letting me know what went wrong and what went well. But yeah, so that is it for today. Very short, I think, because I have not been working on anything. Girl, do y'all know I still haven't done the collar on that sweater? Again, distracted. Just don't feel like thinking. I didn't feel like being bothered with it. I wanted something stockinette. I didn't want to be bothered, and whatever. Oh, my mom is coming, and I'm really excited. She'll be here Monday, and if I can convince her to get on camera, you'll get to see this beautiful woman who birthed me. And now we look alike because I cut my hair off too. So yeah, so it'll be nice to spend a week with her and annoy her. I have to finish working on her garment, and that's the other thing, but I can't show it to you because, again, she doesn't know how to listen. So she'll see it when she gets here, and I'll let her wear it. Hopefully I'll have it finished. Again, I've been so distracted I haven't really worked on it, but it shouldn't take me too long. So I'll power through it over the weekend, and we'll see what happens. But that's all I got going on in here. If you want, I can let you go now, and for the rest of you that like this sort of thing, I can just give you a little update on the little garden tower, which, by the way, again, not an affiliate, not yet anyway. I should be because I keep buying this stuff, but Greenstock is having a Mother's Day sale right now, and the Mother's Day sale to me is the best sale for the planters, because the planters, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so the planters are these things, right? Let me back up a little bit. So this is the 5-tier planter, and it has the water reservoir on top, and then it has the 5 tiers, and each one of those tiers has 6 planting pockets. That's the original. This one is the 7-tier, and it is it 7 or 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a 6-tier. This 6-tier is a combination planter, because it has, as you can see, it has the shorter pocket, and then down here it has the longer pocket. They do different things, but essentially they do the same thing. So these are designed for things like your lettuces and your herbs and all of those shallow rooted things. And then the longer pockets like these are made for, let's say, like I have peppers in here. So things that have a little bit more roots that need to go down, your cucumbers, tomatoes, not indeterminate ones, of course. Look at my romaine lettuce. She just showing off. Oh. She's beautiful. Let me go ahead and get these leaves off of here before they go bad. But yeah, so that's the 6-tier combination. I think it's called the Inventor's Bundle or something. So it has the leaf tiers and the regular tiers in the same combination. And did it come with the spinner base thing? So the spinner base, this is the ultimate spinner base. This one has wheels in addition to spinning. So you can just put it outside on a cement block or, you know, on your patio, whatever, and let it spin. I'm trying to think what else. All right, what else? I think that's about it. So now we could go ahead and just look at the beautiful greenery that is starting to explode here. And we'll just kind of walk through the towers again. So up here is some white peonies that I started from seeds. And this is some pepper. I think this is a giant Marconi. Is that one? I got that from the feed and seed store. There's some, is it peonies or poppies? What did I say? I said peonies. I think they're poppies. Sorry. White poppies. Just some flowers to put at the top for some beauty. This one is a pepper. This is a cucumber. That's a cucumber. So we'll see how it does in the tower versus in the garden area outside. There's some hot peppers I put in here, but they did not grow. Well, this one didn't, but you see this one did sprout me one. So I got one hot pepper that'll be coming up. And then we back to the poppies. Down here, let's see, tier 2. This is a pepper of some sort. Shishito pepper. I usually come in and pop off some of these green, like regular big green leaves, because it'll kind of help put some of the energy to the production of fruit more than the production of leaves. And these were kind of damaged when I first got them. They kind of got burnt by the sun. So I just pop off the ones that look a little scraggly and just let them be. So anyway, so that's a shishito pepper. I think that's another shishito pepper. This one is a scallion. It does not doing anything. It still looks the same to me. So we'll give it a little bit of time. This is a red pepper. Yeah, or little red pepper. You see the flowers are coming. So we'll have something popping out of there hopefully soon. And there's some more in there. Some little buds forming. What's next? This one is some spinach that I started from seed. I believe this is the Bloomsdale spinach that they sent me. They send you a free packet of seeds in every order. It's usually some herb in the winter, and then in the spring and summer it might be spinach or carrots or something like that. This is another piece of spinach, the same, and that's back to the pepper. Down here is another pepper. I bought them from the feed and seed store, so they came like 3 to a pack for $2. Girl, I had to get that. This is another cucumber, another farm seed thing. This is my peppermint. She's beautiful. I wish I'd have put it at the top, but I was trying to intersperse everything so that it's not just one tier of this and one tier of that. I believe this is a green onion. I believe. It's either a green onion or it's a garlic. No, it's not a garlic. It's either a green onion or a leek. There you go. But I don't think this is a leek. I think it's a scallion. And this one over here is the spearmint. I just plucked some of the leaves off of this too, so it can stay producing some good leaves. Smell. Don't it smell good? It's amazing. Let's see. Down here, rosemary. She's not really growing, so I don't know what's going on in there, but you know, we're going to give it some time and just let it do its thing. I don't really know what's happening, but this one is called a kohlrabi. It's kind of like a mix between a cabbage and a broccoli, I've heard. I started those from seed, so they are giving me some greens. I'm just hoping that we'll get something in the middle. I may need to add some more soil here. And that's that. I don't remember what this is. Oh, it's probably a cucumber. And then we got some more peppers. And over here, these are seed lettuce that I started from seed. Grand Rapid lettuce, so it's just like a salad mix. And then this is my little baby carrots. I can't wait to get those. These are calendula. They are sprouting greens but not flowers yet, so we'll see. Same thing here, more calendula. We'll see. What is this? I don't know, but it's growing. And that's the romaine. The romaine is doing really well here. I need to look at these leaves, girl. Whew. I'm gonna go ahead and pluck that out today. This whole tier is chamomile, but I don't see no flowers or any look of flowers. Do y'all think I put too many in each thing? I'm seeing the stems are growing really tall, but I'm not getting any of the white flower buds. So let me know if you know anything about chamomile. That's another romaine. This is my Thai basil. She's doing pretty good. I've been plucking on these too, just to keep it growing so it doesn't go to seed. What else? I got something in here. Oh, it's a mustard green, and I got one. So we're going to keep it covered, let it do its greenhouse thing. Yes, this is a green stalk purchase, the white. It kind of creates a little mini dome for the seeds. What are you? Is this a pepper? I don't know what this is. I was bad about labeling in the beginning, so now I don't know what this is, but it's growing, so that's great. My purple basil, it looks like it's just not going to make it. It got scorched by the sun. It's been kind of not taking root. I'm going to add some water to that pocket, though. I don't know. Remember that other green thing I said might be a green onion or a scallion? I got another one over here, so obviously I call myself trying to do something great. Let's see. Yep, green onions. That's what it is. So that's what that other thing is. Now I know. That was the the mustard seed. These were leeks. I didn't get anything in here yet, but I did hear that they do take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna let it take its time and see. I'll give it another week. Another mustard green. These are another pepper. Oh, it's a giant Marconi pepper. That's what that thing was. Okay. And this whole tier down here are pole beans. And as you see, I got my flowers starting to sprout. So I will be eating beans in a couple of weeks. So excited. And that right there is a sun gold tomato. It's a little cherry tomato type thing. I'm not a tomato lover by any means, but sometimes you just need a tomato. I don't think I showed you this. I love this one. This is my lemon thyme. It smells really good and it's just beautiful. So like I said, I just keep pinching it off so that it can keep growing. I don't want it to go to seed, so I just keep making sure to come out, harvest some, use them up. Sometimes I end up just making a tea out of it or eating the herb fresh, because why not? And that's the oregano. Did I skip this whole tier? I don't know. But anyway, so that's that. Over here is the blackberry that has taken over the world. So I also noticed that with this blackberry, she sprouted a second cane. Let me see if I can get in here. You see that? That right there, that sprouted secondarily. So I got another cane growing, and this too is part of the blackberry. So they did tell me that they can be very invasive, and I think that's what is about to happen. I'm low-key not mad. I wish that I'd have put it somewhere else so they could just bush over, like over there somewhere. But I'm not mad at having a nice big bush in front of the house. I just hope I don't regret it when it comes to things like snakes and that kind of stuff. We'll see. We'll see. This one is a blueberry, but I was getting some seeds on them, like the little flowers, but they went away. So I don't know if the birds ate them and it just went dormant again, but of course it's in the ground. We're just gonna let it do its thing. Coming over here, these are new to the yard. I put some watermelons in here, but as you can see from the footprints, we have stray cats and I have my own cats, and I suspect that they have been walking through my dirt patch, because why wouldn't they? It's like a giant litter box. So I have to come up with a way to either cover this up to protect the seeds, or I'm going to have to get some bricks or something to encase it, and then I can cover it. But they're new to the home. I'm excited to get them. Those are Charleston Grays, watermelons, whatever. They're the long ones. Those bags are potatoes. These two are regular white potatoes. That one is a purple potato. And I had to move my peach tree because she kept falling over in the wind out there in the elements. And I lost a lot of the little peaches, but I do still have a few. There's one there. Where are you? There she goes. There's one there. There's one back there. One here. I think it's at a manageable space though. I feel like having too many on each stem or branch was just too heavy for the tree itself. It is still putting out little ones, but I don't think these are going to make it. So I'm not too hard pressed about it. But it looks like I have maybe about 6 or 7 decent sized peaches that are starting to grow. I am noticing that some of the leaves are turning yellow, which I read somewhere means it's been overwatered. So I'm going to give it a rest. But we had a real big downpour, and then we didn't have no rain for like 5 days. And it kept saying it was going to rain, so I stopped watering. But then I think I overcompensated. This one is my corn stalks. Look at there. Corn in your backyard. I'm going to add some more dirt to this because obviously it is low. But I managed to get 3 out of the 4 corns that I packed in here. And these green things in the middle, do y'all know what this is? Because I have no idea. I do remember putting seeds in, but I don't remember what I put. And I honestly don't know if those are weeds or not. So I'm trying to give it some time to grow so that I can... Somebody told me to put orange peels in your garden. So that's what those are doing there. So yeah, I want to know what those are. If I need to pull it, put something else in. These tall green things, those two, those are gladiolus bulbs. So I just figured throw some flowers, help the bees and the butterflies. This one is my tomato. He's still going strong, looking kind of tall. However, there are things in here. That right there, this right here, those, I didn't plant those. They just came up. The last thing I planted in this bed were beets and collard greens. Collard greens or kale, one of those two. So I'm seeing the red on the leaves. I'm assuming these are beets, but like I said, I didn't put any more in there, so they must have just volunteered, which is fine. I love that for me. We get free food. This is another Thai basil that apparently has strictly gone to seed, so we're just going to let it do its thing and let the seeds drop back in there, and maybe we'll get some more next year. Over here, I think this is the cucumber. This one and that one. These green things right here, that's garlic that I stuck in. I heard that you're supposed to put garlic and onions and stuff because pests don't like them. We'll see if that's true. What is that back there? I believe is an eggplant. And these are 2 different types of either peppers. I don't think I managed to space well in that one. I think I got too much growing in there. But this is, yeah, it's a gong bao pepper. I don't know. Sounded fancy, so I got it. The others of these are either garlics or onions. And that is a yellow squash. Is that a bug? Are you a friend or a foe? Get out of here. But I believe I'm at that stage with this growth. I can see that I need to start checking the leaves every day and making sure that my male flowers, they're right here. I don't have any female flowers just yet. Oh, maybe this is one coming up. I notice has a tendril coming out of it. Oops. Yeah, we'll see what happens. My husband mowed the grass yesterday, and I hate when not hate when he does, but he mowed it and he has no regard for the fact that his stuff is growing all over my stuff. So that's how I end up with weeds and everything. But that's it, ladies and germs. I had 2 tomatoes in here. And remember when I said I had to come through and clean it out with the weed whacker? Well, I weed whacked my tomato and it's dead now. So I'm gonna just go ahead, put some cardboard down in here and fill it with some soil. And very worst case scenario, I'll take my watermelons and put them in here. Just probably 1 or 2. And I'll put it in the middle. Yeah. So that's it. That's what we're looking like so far. Notice the lawnmower is finally covered up. Why? Because he decided to listen to his wife. But that's okay. And yeah. I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. It ended up probably being longer than I anticipated. But we got a little bit of knitting, a little bit of gardening, a little bit of life. And now I'm going to go in and make some coffee. Nope, I have not had any. Make some coffee. Turn on YouTube. And just chill out for the rest of the day because I have to mentally de-stress. This has been a very long 2-week process and we are still we're not even halfway or a quarter of the way into the real process. So pray for me, y'all. Pray for me.